Northern Uganda, a region once ravaged by decades of brutal conflict, is slowly piecing its communities back together. Led by warlord Joseph Kony, left a legacy of physical disabilities, emotional trauma and untold suffering. The scars of the Lord's Resistance Army insurgents, which lasted from 1986 to 2006, still linger.
Sometimes I used to cry when I'm telling that story, but at last I find out myself has been relieved through the cry that I've been crying, telling out, and the advices that they used to give me when I tell them the experience that I went through. They used to encourage me. They can tell me that you still have future. Take courage, you should not give up. So through those advices that I was getting from the FC, it has encouraged me and I've gained. I have trust for my future.
Today, while the region is rebuilding, many victims still carry the physical and emotional wounds of war. However, physical rehabilitation programs are providing hope, offering more victims a chance to regain their mobility, independence and dignity.
Before the training, I couldn't even tell out the experience that I went through when I was in the bush. But through the project, I was able to explain myself and tell out the condition that I went through, and I gained courage. Because at first when I was telling my experience, I used to cry. I couldn't even tell what has taken place on me, but through the training I've gained courage. I can explain, I can even tell out my stories and the experience that I went through.
The LRA insurgents devastated northern Uganda, particularly the Acholi and Lango sub-regions. This brutal conflict involved the abduction of children, mass killings, mutilations and widespread displacement.
As we joined the other group, since my sister was cut in the hands and the fingers as she was trying to escape, they told us since we wanted to escape and they are going to kill all of us, so they laid us on a big stone. They brought some big sticks, big logs, and they wanted to beat with us to kill all of us. But luckily, when they made a radio call, Kony ordered that they should not kill anybody. At that time, they should not kill anybody, all those that were there. That's how we survived at that point of being killed.
By the end of the insurgents, approximately 1.8 million people had been displaced, tens of thousands had been killed, and many were left with life-altering injuries.
How long did she spend with the rebels, and when did she come back home? And when she was being taken, there were 9 in the house. Were they all, there were 6 girls? 6 girls. Were they all her sisters? What happened to the rest? Because she told us about like 2. The rest, was she still with the other sisters?
No, for tiki jom luoru ci piano way do tiki wa bichel ko.
Wa bichel ko wa ngwan jario de ngota.
They were already now remaining 4, 2 were already what? 2 already were already passed off.
Wa ngwan mo dong ni poko kino ti papat.
The 4 of us were given put in different groups. Tell camera man. I stayed there in the bush for 8 years.
Dig it up being charged yellow, a bit market one or ram you.
When we climbed, we were on top of that rock, that field. The helicopter came and started shooting us at a place called Olamio.
Mà đây có chia đâu á, ngoài rêu, mà chia, có bài một đứa, xử lý là bật đê kì, ubian là gì cho kiến chính là đi qua cái, ngoài rêu cái.
When the helicopter was firing, shooting, the bomb splitter came and tore the arms of one of our leader who was in charge.
An cái mình na, ở bên cái là địa ta, cho ai cái cung, cả mà phơi tì.
I was given the husband from there to be with.
Ở cái mía, ăn mà cái mà nó phơi nghe về là cho cô. Cả mà cái mía nó mía bên cái choa đó, cái đó luôn nó mía chắc bên cái là cho cái đào, ăn nó bằng nghe, cái dùng gọi à mấy người nè cả đâu.
When I was given a man, I was still young. I've never met him already.
Em là tiếng Hoa pa, Rio đúng. Thì anh cái má tiếng Hoa
I
bố.
was 12 years when I was given a man. I didn't know this to do with men. That time, because I didn't know anything, I was beaten badly. Even I was unconscious.
While the conflict formally ended in 2006, the conflict continues to affect individuals and families in profound ways. Physical rehabilitation programs, supported by the Trustee Fund for Victims of the International Criminal Court (ICC), have been crucial in addressing the long-term effects of the war. One of the key organizations driving these efforts is the AVSI Foundation Uganda.
At first, sometimes when somebody stigmatized me, I just go and hide myself. I used to stay alone. But through the training, even if somebody has pointed fingers at me that you are from the bush, I can now overcome that temptation. I can even forgive, but at first I used not to forgive. When you mention anything concerning my being in the bush, I feel like fighting with you. But nowadays I cannot do it through the training that they gave me.
Through these programs, war victims are provided with artificial limbs, prosthetics and other mobility aids to help them regain a sense of normalcy.
Even with the fractures, we mobilize the fractures using we do the general body assessment, we assess the stump. Here,
Rosalimo, a 40-year-old resident of Paida district, is one such beneficiary. In 2002, she lost her leg to stray bullets during an attack near her home in Agago district. Alimo recalls the horrific moment when she was in the kitchen preparing a meal and heard the continuous sound of gunfire. When she tried to step out, she realized her right leg had been shattered. Her father, who was seated in his hut, was also shot and died instantly.
The lake has changed my life, and I stayed home. Then 2005, I was married. Then I gave birth to my first child, who is now in senior. When I came back, when I got a limb and came back home, many people could not believe it was me who is walking again. Like they have gotten lost. They don't know where I was at that time. So, and I started using the leg to do many things, going to the garden, fetch water, and it has really changed my life.
After being found hours later by the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF soldiers, I was rushed to Kalongo Hospital, where her leg was amputated, she recalled. Despite the trauma, Alimo's resilience is evident. 3 months later, she returned home with wooden crutches, but her ability to farm and care for her family was significantly compromised.
Despite being disabled like her, she also wants to look better like the other family because it is that will make also people not to stigmatize her.
She was invited to go to Regional Referral Hospital workshop and rehabilitation center that her life began to change. There, she was fitted with a prosthetic limb, and over time, she regained the ability to farm, got married and mothered 6 children. Sadly, she lost her husband in 2014, but she continues to care for her family. Since the Trust Fund for Victims Rehabilitation Program inception in 2008, the demand for rehabilitation services in the region has grown significantly.
Some of these services that we offer, the counseling services, the target is basically post-war victims. However, with the post-war victims, at times you cannot ignore the family members. So it also involves the family members, the community, but we all know that there are people who have been also indirectly affected by war. So it's a cross-cutting thing, as much as we may talk of only post-war victim. Both the direct and indirect are covered. Those ones who come to the center, at times they are identified through other services. These clients or patients may come for other services, then they are identified that they need counseling services. Then they are also referred to us. Some may be specifically referred to us for counseling services, identified by the community members or other development partners, and we also provide the services. And when we go to the community, we go through the structure, the government structure in the districts, in the sub-counties. So we normally go to the district offices, administration, and they are the one who normally guides where we should really offer the services, depending on how severe some of these areas were affected. So we go through the structure, and the structure guides.
This includes new amputees receiving artificial limbs and individuals returning for repairs or replacements of worn-out prosthetics.
Beginning, this is a soft liner. This soft liner is always for only the below knee amputations to cushion to relieve the pressure. So this is called a stock net.
The physical rehabilitation programs operates across 22 districts, including Acholi, Lang and Teso sub-regions.
It has been going on since 2010 when we received the training. Since that time, we have been providing counseling services to Acholi sub-region, part of Teso sub-region, at the same time also Lango sub-region, where the project covers.
In addition to artificial limbs, the center also produces orthotics, wheelchairs and other mobility aids to enhance the lives of war victims.
You can bring this.
Can do even the casting.
Even the casting.
For individuals who travel long distances, the center offers accommodations and counseling to help them adjust emotionally and mentally to their new reality. Leka notes that the lifespan of a prosthetic limb depends on its usage. For instance, a prosthetic limb used for farming may need to be replaced after 2 years, while one used by an office worker may last 6 years. In between, minor and major repairs may be necessary. However, the high cost of importing materials for prosthetic production remains a significant challenge.
So if supply is constant, we can talk of how we can produce it quarterly. This is such kind of things. But if it is intermittent, sometimes there, sometimes not there, it becomes hard to say quarterly. You can't measure yourself really very well.
For many victims like Alimo, the cost of acquiring or repairing a prosthetic limb is prohibitive.
We all know this is Regional Referral Hospital. It's for actually sub-region. And when we talk of Acholi sub-region, those are 8 districts, but it goes beyond the Acholi sub-region. It's for the country, because we get patients from Masaka, we get patients from Bara, we get patients from South Sudan, we get patients from wherever. Jumani is under this workshop and all this center. We have those ones from Teso who are also coming here. They are coming here because this workshop is functional. To our standard, I could say 100%. But to other standard, it may be around 70 or 80. But when you compare to other workshops within the country, this is the best. Now, being in the government facility where this is a regional referral, you are supposed to provide services to whoever comes. You can't say this is for this is for this. So here, there is no discrimination, there is no. Whoever comes, provided the services is provided, it's provided. But as the government, they are also mindful about the target group that AFC needs to treat.
The price of a new limb can range from 1 million Ugandan shillings to 1.5 million shillings, while transportation costs for repairs can add another 50 million Ugandan shillings to 100 million Ugandan shillings, depending on the distance. For many victims, especially those who rely on farming for their livelihood, these costs are simple and affordable. Agnes Patricia Lanyero, a principal physiotherapist at Gulu Regional Referral Hospital, explains that while 80% of the work, the rehabilitation center is supported by TFV of the ICC, the government contributes to the salary of some staff members.
There are staffs to support the workshop. There are material that have been procuring both locally and internationally. There have also been skills, whatever the capacity building. There have also, when it comes to equipment, they have been really there, maintenance, making sure they also upgrade the standard of the equipment, of the service and all that, for quality assurance and all that. So they have been doing a lot. That doesn't mean that possibly the government has also not been doing. The government has also staff. So when there are staffs, their salaries and other things, and where the government can also support some bit of maintenance and all that, has also been doing that, which is actually, the two have been working hand in hand, although one side is giving a bigger share than the other.
As a government hospital, Gulu Regional Referral is mandated to provide services to individuals from a wide geographical area, not just the war victims of Northern Uganda, she said.
Being in the government facility where this is a regional referral, you are supposed to provide services to whoever comes. You can't say this is for this is for this. So here, there is no discrimination, there is no. Whoever comes, provided the services is provided, it's provided. But as the government, they are also mindful about the target group that AFC needs to treat. So they also see the way of complementing. But at times, things are tied from the government side. How would you really see? We have people with road traffic accident. We have people with other cause of amputation, diseases like diabetes and all that. We provide these services to them.
Although the services are intended to support post-war victims, Lanier emphasizes the broader impact of the program can productive members of society.
But we are also mindful that the project needs to meet its target. That one has been doing. Now the question is, if tomorrow AFC is not there, what will happen? It's for me and you. I can't really say I'm going to answer this question. It's for me and you, who has seen, who has felt, who has even talked to these guys. You have heard what they are saying. And this government is not something that you have not worked in. As much as you're working in the NGO world, you're not very far from the government. The challenges the government is going through, So it's between me and you. What are we going to do? If this project ends, what will happen to my brothers and sisters, your father and your mother, who has been using this? So we need to think. We need to really get out of the box and start putting our heads together. If you know there's someone who can do something, call the person to come and witness, to come and see. It's a reality. AFSI is not going to live, the project is not going to live forever and ever. It will close. But what are we going to do, me and you?
Cultural leaders in the region are also recognizing the importance of physical rehabilitation for war victims.
Kitung barna atika nene katwere pono ke nendo oi mak manyen were wachira nyim umete yana yini apsi kirningo miano mete ka chelo ki trust fund pina chwa bene.
On my side, next year we would like to continue working together. APSI and Trust Fund, we would like to work together so that we support these victims.
Agnes Lanyero says these leaders help in identifying those that need such services, and they end up linking them to service providers.
Elders help us to mobilize the community. So we go for community sensitization. After the community sensitization, this is where we really, in the community sensitization is where we offer, we tell the community what services we offer. Both what we have gone for, that very community, and even what we offer at the center. Does not discriminate whether this is government or NGO, but we say when you come to the center, these are the services that we offer.
Wrote Alex Odokonyero, the road chief of the Paicho clan in Achori, stressed that physical rehabilitation is significantly improving the quality of life for victims.
Especially those who had bullets in their body and have been removed. I can see they are now okay, they are doing well, and those who also got other services like the physical, for physical rehabilitation, those who got corset, they are now doing fine. I think the impact of the project is great.
He stressed the need to continue working with such partners and well-wishers for the good of the community that faced and insurgents that caused the traumatic problems.
Vision Fund, mebien kakonywa kachero baki APSI duju. Wan kitung barukan watiga titi materda malope ki chokodana ma berka chokone macharwe ane kumani la dir wat paicho me chokogi me wekogi wekme beruchi group ni duju.
Thank you, APSI, for coming. We have been working together, and you've been supporting us. Me as the chief, cultural chief of Paicho. We are so privileged for the support you've been giving us in regard to mobilization of the victims of war. APSI with the Vision Fund, they have been so supportive.
Jane Faketo, the queen of the Paicho clan, is working to mobilize women who have been victims of war to form savings and loan groups.
I started mobilization in 2018. I started this initiative because of what the victims were going through. So I decided to put them together in groups so that we share the experience.
I want my pekmano the jom can pick a year what a kilowiri can get tea jom can ma go and give a kirigunaka. So kill a tam jacket do.
These victims were going through a lot of trauma. And they were not even talking, like you find someone is isolated, don't want to associate with people, so they came up with the idea, why don't we come together and we share our experience since we are all victims.
With the support from the Trust Fund for Victims of the International Criminal Court, Aketo has helped over 200 women access financial resources to start small businesses.
I was
so excited when APSI came June this year, 2024. They told us that what they have come to do, that they want to work with the victims of LRA war.
These groups not only empower women economically, but also provide a platform for them to overcome the trauma and stigma associated with experiences.
And we were going through a lot of stigmatizations from the community. So we decided to come together, and we are even doing a VSLA as a victim. So every Tuesday we are here in this compound under this tree, and we are doing our VSLA, our saving, and we are about 200.
Some of them had initially resorted to drinking alcohol, and these groupings have helped some families to stay united.
On my side, I think if we have a stable mind for youth with youth and women who are mentally okay, they are the one who will develop actually as a culture. Because like for youth, they will have to work hard other than going to drink. For women, if you educate one mother, it's like you have educated the whole clan. Because what you're going to share, the learning is going to get is also going to share with other people, other women, that will eventually impact the community.
She, however, stressed the need to have the boy child helped, because many organizations have centered themselves on helping the girl child forgetting or neglecting their future husbands, which may cause family breakups in the future.
You don't get my name, but one mega for a doctor for you, Tiana, get a John, he ought me for you, Tiana. It took Colonel. Tian will be for you, one, oh, get a young John, what kill a lot of did what joke lock man ago, Nibana.
To us mothers, we need to go back to the old ways of how we have been bringing our girls, and to boys. Those days, they get lessons in around the 5 point in the evening. That is 1-0. That's how it's called in Acholi.
To have responsible citizens.
Yes.
Don't want one for George, for what to take a tap. We work one while winning. Come on, can work around kill Kujikonga Pechukel.
And first, the mothers, the women, we don't need to step down. We need to continue advocating so that our voice is also heard.
Despite the progress made, many challenges remain.
For my doing, like my doing, which I don't know you, my papa, Upsi can you be a conua. But they do more part of Epsi Muconua.
We fill forms, we send our voices, but it's only Upsi who came up to us to support us.
Why don't me a chelka part, chelkin, good no, call me Ariat.
111 people got support for medical from APSI.
You can timidity on Yurgi, you can get bedgi, you can tiangi, you can piegi.
And they have given the medical support was on a different type. Find some people that work on their leg, some people.
Now I joke any piegi, you can igi, you can on your. But mega any no digi kwa me berka the techno ya on your no pa joke and cut no pay can tea 1 year.
Some of them were supported on a reproductive system because they have been sexually abused while in the bush.
She and the Gilomar yard food away give chaka with my onion do my beat ato. You are to phone my John and Waka to be to get a lama did lama dear to make a chill kill it.
For now, they said because of the Christmas, they will be going, but they will resume next year in 2025. But their work have impact, and there's a lot of change in their life.
As the project is set to end in April 2025, beneficiaries like Alim and others will be left to fend for themselves in securing funds for repairs and replacements of their prosthetic limbs.
One thing is, how is the supply? So if supply is constant, we can talk of how we can produce it quarterly. It's such kind of things. But if it is intermittent, sometimes there, sometimes not there, it becomes hard to say quarterly. You can't measure yourself really very well. You know how government operates. At times things may not be there, at times there, something like that, but it is working. It's working, yeah.
For many, the future remains uncertain. However, the rehabilitation program has given them a renewed sense of hope and opportunity. The impact of this rehabilitation effort is evident in the stories of the beneficiaries. Bosco Yema, a victim of one resident of Yoka village, Pawol Parish Lokong Sub-County in Lamo District, explained that with the limb he got, is ready to ride a motorcycle to different places as he conducts his mechanical work.
Don't remember anything. And I woke up when I was already in the hospital. When I woke up from the hospital, and I found my leg was off, I started asking those people who were taking care of me, those who took me to the hospital. Then they started narrating me what happened. I've been in a lot of pain I felt I was now without a leg. How will I survive? It's even better than I die. LRA and Magini team. Madam Michelle, my dear, no footy gangi. No footy gangi go? Very? No footy gangi. In 2003, I was still single. No food out pe Magini Timeni. I better Karma better Ariakuno. My child now down my pole. They have been counseling me, they have been supporting me psychologically, and also the people who were using artificial legs, which gave me hope, and they also talked to me that if the wound heals and I go to APSI, I will still be someone who can do something.
Godfrey Munkedeko, a 72-year-old resident of Rubaga Division in Kampala, lost both of his limbs and was advised by Dr. Mulago National Referral Hospital to seek better prosthetic limbs in Gulu.
Mulago nagendayo Referral Hospital, ebiseera byali bya COVID abayindiro bajja tubagaba amagulu. Twaliyo muganda wange waliwo Dr. mutabani wange Dr. Sebugwawo yantwala ne bampa okugulu nenga okugulu kunene nnyo kunzitowerera nnyo. Nangamba banga balinga ne Dr. wano basuma ne Dr. wano bakola naye. Nandagirira nangamba gende eggulu bakumeko amagulu bakuwa amagulu. Ngampulira era bakola ku bantu babawa amagulu. Kati nali ngaayi naye nga buli kiseera ntawanyizibwa tugenda mu kooti nkola kine ngamba sijja gye obudde sibulina. Paka lwe ngamba emyaka nno giggwako ennaku ziggwako. Waligenze ne bakuwa amagulu. Ngulu muganda wange mutabani wange yanziramu Dr. Sebugwawo. Paka lwe navaayo kwe kujja eggulu. Wiki eri yajja nenzija dokita ne munnyonnyolerako ne munnyonnyola ne bampimako amagulu nenzira era nga bampisenga waliwo bye ngenda okusayininga e Kampala nenzirayo guno nkomyewo gwakubiri kwe kudda nenkoma wano naye nga amagulu bagamaze kati mbadde nkola exercise ngenda erya n'omusawo abadde ankimye ngenda eri nkola exercise buli lwenjira nkera nkola exercise.
Munkedeko is grateful for the free services provided at the rehabilitation center as he struggles with the transportation costs from Kampala to Gulu for his physiotherapy sessions.
Nze wane Gulu Referral Hospital buli kimu bankoleddeko bwerere sisabiddwa ssente kubanga era ne gye baali baŋŋamba waliwo abaali baŋŋamba bantwaleko ebweru nga byetaaga ssente nga sijja kusobola ne ŋŋamba nennemwa era kati mutabani wange okuŋŋamba ebyo yaŋŋamba genda eggulu buli kimu bakikolera bwereere tebajja kukusaba ssente bwakukola ki okujjaku wano mpozi obuzibu bwensanzeemu bwenfunamu transport bakati nina okutwala emitwalo 6 tuli 2 oba 12 tuddeyo ate ku January nga bukyesooka nina okudda wano ntandika okukola exercise paka lwe naamaliriza ndoke nzireyo e Kampala.
Similarly, Rona Rechapio, a 22-year-old resident of Jinja, received a prosthetic limb that will allow her to pursue her dream of becoming a medical laboratory officer.
I was in Western. I'd gone there to do a course of nursing. So I was even admitted, but those people refused me from doing the course. Reason being, I had one leg. So one of the students had a friend of hers who is there in Soroti, who is called Moses Maitai, who posts the artificial limbs on his status. So she connected me to Moses. When I talked to Moses, Moses also connected me to another person who's called Barnabas. Then it was Barnabas who directed me here to Gulu. When I came, it was September, but the materials were not yet here. So they told me, you go back, you come back when the materials come. So I went back. When the materials came, I called. Barnabas also gave me Madam Harriet's contact. So when I was at home, I called her, asking her whether the materials had come. She told me no. She gave me Dr. Kalanzi's contact. So I started talking to doctor. When the materials came, doctor told me, you come. I never went to Mulago because Mulago is expensive, and for us, we don't have money for the artificial limb.
She had initially applied to study nursing, but was denied admission due to her disability. With her new limb, she now has a chance to achieve her education and career goals.
I feel so happy. Yeah. I'm going to change the course because they promised to give me scholarship, and the other course because I'm going to do medical lab next year.
As Northern Uganda continues its journey of recovery, physical rehabilitation remains a vital tool in restoring the dignity, independence and quality of life for countless individuals who have been affected by the brutal rigors of war.
It's not a one person's work, it's for all the stakeholders. So it's a very big question that you're asking, if this closes, what will happen? It's a big thing, it's a blow, but nothing is there forever. But it seems from next year we are going to remain 3, with one assistant who has been supporting us. And if this project closes, it means that we are basically 3 for all this. So when you came in, I just worked on the last patient. Since morning I've been standing. So that is how big it is. That is how we have been doing the work. We enjoy it, but we enjoy it with pain, you know.
While the scars of war may never fully fade, the physical rehabilitation programs in Northern Uganda have provided a vital lifeline for victims. Through the provision of artificial limbs, mobility aids and emotional support, many victims have regained their independence and are rebuilding their lives.
We know for sure that the government is also working around with other development partners like Relapse, trying to streamline the issues of rehabilitation, which has for long been neglected. Relapse is really working so hard to make sure that at least this is clearly stated in the health system. It comes out clearly in the health system. When it comes out clearly in the health system, it means that there should be a work plan, there should be a budget attached that needs to come out. So they are trying to work around. I understand the strategic plan has been worked upon. Possibly it's now in the final stages for the minister to append the signature. That is what we hear from the Relapse. At the same time, If that strategic plan is out, then it will call for the budget, it will call for all that. And the RELAP is also working very hard to see to it that right from Health Center 4, at least the rehab professionals who have never been there should also be recruited. And that one has already been, the structure has already been developed. But it's a gradual process for different districts now to see and prioritize. So it's between me and you to really talk to these districts to also put rehabilitation as a priority. Some of them we meet when they are in the process of committing suicide. Some have had very many trials because of the challenges they are going through. So actually the magnitude of the problem is quite big in some communities.
Compiled by Kenneth Nwajira.